So coming up next is going to be our final panel discussions. It is going to unveil how disruptive technologies are transforming traditional industries. So our speaker is going to share stories behind these breakthroughs, which are important for driving sustainable and future-proof business models in the digital landscape. And now I would like to invite our moderator for this session to come on stage. Let's welcome Mr. Toney Chang, Vice Chairman of the Federation of Hong Kong Industries Group 25, FHKI. Mr. Chang, please. And for our panelists, let's welcome Mr. Paul Lu, Chief Operating Officer, Lalamove. Let's welcome Paul. And next, let's welcome Mr. Rex Chang, Group Chief Technology Officer, Television Broadcast Limited. Welcome, Rex. And next, let's welcome Mr. Philip Lau, founder of Anxious Otter Games Limited. Let's welcome Philip. And last but not least, let's welcome Mr. Xie Tak Yong, Director of Next NCS Group. And without any further ado, I'll pass the stage to Toney.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the session. This session is about technology, innovation, and transformation, which in a sense is about change. As probably most of you are aware, change is pretty much the only constant in life. And whether the change is being initiated by oneself or is being forced upon by nature and the environment. For the same token, actually, it applies to the business world as well. Business leaders and entrepreneurs spend a lot of the time trying to enhance the business model, improving it, responding to the change outside, which are out of the control. And one of the methods which they employ is called disruptive innovation. And definition of disruptive innovation is serving the same market segment, utilizing a lower cost model, or identify an underserved audience, put that into a new market segment, and focus on it. And disruptive innovation has never been easy. It has always been very, very challenging. But fortunately, with the advancement in technology in recent years, like Web3 and like AI, it has made the process comparatively easier. And it's our pleasure today to have our honorable guests on stage with us, sharing some of their experience on their innovative journey. And I think each speakers will be spending a little time to talk about their company a little bit, and then we'll go into the Q&A session. And may I pass the stage to our first speaker, Paul from Lalamove. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Toney. Hello, I'm Paul. I'm the CEO of Lalamove. We are from Hong Kong. You must have seen our driver partners going around Hong Kong. I hope that you have downloaded our apps and placed an order yourself so that you experience our product. Actually, we are the biggest closed-loop logistic platform in the world. We started in Hong Kong back in 2013, so almost 10 years. We run two brands. In mainland China, our name is Holala. You may have seen it. We cover more than 300 cities all around China. And outside of mainland, we call ourselves Lalamove. And we are at the moment covering all the major cities in Southeast Asia. We are also in South Asia. We launched in Bangladesh a couple of years ago. We are also in Latin America. We serve 17 cities in Brazil. We also have presence in Mexico City. So to give you a rough idea of the scale we are having now, 2023, last year, on an average basis, every month we have more than 1.2 million driver partners around the world. And in terms of users, more than 13 million. So that's the rough size that we are having at the moment. And those numbers are growing every day. So as I mentioned that we started 10 years ago, we came from Hong Kong. We very quickly expanded into the mainland China cities as well as going overseas. And there has been a lot of challenge when you cover fragmented markets around the world. There are slight difference. But everywhere we go, we apply the same business model, we apply the same tech stack. But we do customize our product a bit, like in terms of map, payment, or languages, or the way we communicate with our users and drivers. But basically, we replicate our model everywhere we go. What we do is pretty simple. We match user who place orders with driver partners who are willing to deliver the orders. And that came from a very traditional business model. 10 years ago, drivers, they subscribe to phone call-based platform, and then users, when they need a truck or a van, they make a phone calls. So there were a lot of inefficiency. The way we do it is we make use of existing technologies, digitize the entire process, from the way we manage our driver partners to the way we serve our users, make it very simple. And as a result, users can manage their logistic cost. They don't need to have their own fixed asset. They don't need to buy their own trucks. Even if they do, they can use us to scale up during the peak, or they don't need, during the slack, they can stick to their own in-house fleet. So as a result, they can make use of all the vehicle types available through our platform anytime around the clock in all the markets that we have presence. On the other hand, the driver partners, by joining our platform, they can see a lot more orders, and they can take any orders that they want at any time that they want. We are in the type of platform that we broadcast order for them to grab. We don't assign order to force them to take. So they can just work with us over the weekend or after hours, after they finish their own fixed task. Very flexible. So as a result, they can see a lot more orders, they can improve their income. So that's how we make use of technology in between so that we can improve the income of the driver partners and manage down the logistic cost for our users. By the way, majority of our users, they are small, medium enterprise, which is the backbone of all the market that we serve. So how do we do it is we are not having rocket science technologies. We are utilizing all the things that are already available, but we do it in a way so that it can be scalable. Because the number of orders that we are dealing with today, the volume is very different from like Valentine's Day, for example. So you got to be very scalable. You got to make it very easy to use because the driver partners and users, they could be very casual users. So the UX UI must be extremely easy to understand, easy to place an order, and easy to pick up an orders. And also, reliability is very important. We make sure that around the clock, everywhere we serve, the apps is available all the time. And data security, no need to mention about it. So we are from Hong Kong, and we can grow to the scale that we can replicate our models. And as a result of that, we can make use of, we are a classic case of making use of digital economy growth to benefit the real economy. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul, for your very insightful information. And let me pass this floor to Rex from TVB. I'm really looking forward to this. Thank you, Rex.
Thank you, Tony. I'm Rex Ching from TVB. Let me introduce a little bit about myself. I'm the Group CTO of TVB. TVB is the major broadcaster in Hong Kong, and we're taking about 70% of the total TV audience. We also own OTT business. We call it My TV Super, which I'm also responsible for this BU. And we have a lot of artists in Hong Kong, more than 400 artists, and also produce a lot of content in Hong Kong and also for the mainland China. So most importantly, I think, is we are an advertising company actually, and our main revenue is come from the advertisement. So in case you have any product which you want to promote or any advertisement you want to pay, please come to us. So my topic today is related to AI. I knowing that a lot of people are talking AI these days. So what is the impact of AI to TVB and to media industry is huge and most influential technology these years. And as I'm working for the tech industry for more than 20 years, to me it's also very exciting technology. We see a lot of change could be done. And so today I will bring up 3 of the examples that what we are doing, and it's not all what we are doing in the AI industry or in the AI technologies, but these are most recent product that we are using now. So the third thing is what kind of problem we are facing for our advertisement industry. The first thing is about the death of cookie. that the cookie is not that cookie actually. It's not that delicious chocolate cookies, but it's a little bit program that will help you to identify yourself across different domains. So when the cookie is going to shut down globally, so that there's a lot of personal data or personal behavior you cannot track across different domains. So that is a huge impact to the advertiser, to the publisher. So it's good to the normal users. I mean, we are not going to break it, but what we are going to trace this kind of a huge change is one of our topic for our ad revenues. So what we are thinking is how we can index our videos. We are the content provider who produce a lot of videos these days and all the days. So we are trying to identify our content more efficiently by AI. So for example, we can use it to identify our artists' faces, objects, and scenes so that we can put our ad, in the right place, and the right time. So that is more, that means we can take out more values from our contents that will help us and help our advertisers. Face recognitions. I'll show you a little bit videos of how can we do it. No, face recognition is not a new technologies, but currently is much efficient, much cheaper, and much faster technology we can adopt. And we can identify all our artists' faces in different point of time, how long it show up in different places, so that we can place a different ad. For example, in this ad, we can identify, for example, you can type in artist name, so it can show you when it will show up and how long it will show up by different phrase, by different time, and how long you will interact with others as well. So when we got this kind of information from our videos, so that we can place the different or right advertisement for our artists. That is face recognitions. The next one is scene recognitions. That one is much more sophisticated these days, because we tried it a few years before. It's much difficult to identify the good scenes. But right now, for example, you can identify many different scenes. For example, this one is one of our shows. You can identify the car park. You can identify they are talking, they are showing in their dining room, they are outside the street, something like that. So after this kind of information we take out from our content, again, we can place our different products into it. For example, we can place a whole new car in the car park. So that will help us to place much more places to place our content or different objects to it. And for the content production side, I think we test a lot of text to speech to text, text to videos. As you also may notice, there are some news about this, and it's evolving really fast. And it also can help us to lower our production costs and fasten our production costs and so on and so forth. So for example, we do a trial for one of our promotion videos. Actually, we use one of our model to give a little shooting in our studio, and then all the backgrounds, all the shots in the background or what we interact, it all generated by the AI. So the right-hand side is the videos that we created after that. And also we do the face swapping. That means we also change the face for their models, so that we don't need to care much about the models' makeup and something like that. So it helps us to lower our production costs a lot. And also you can produce a lot of different scenes using the AI. So these are three of our examples using AI, and we have many other trials. I hope we can introduce next time, so to give you more insight of our industry. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rex. Very inspiring information. Yeah. So let's pass the stage to our next speakers. Philip from Anxious Otter. He's in the game industry. Please, Philip.
Good afternoon, everyone. So I'll try to keep this short and be as attractive as possible because I know it's a long day. So I'm going to talk about AI impact on game industry, but especially on a SME level, because we heard all the big companies talking about AIs, how they use AI technology. But as a small company, how can we actually benefit from AI? So a little bit background. So my game company is called Anxious Otter Games. We are a startup started around 4 years ago. I have another crypto business that was like two-man team that we handled 3 billion Hong Kong dollars, but that's another story for another time. Yeah. So when you see this like a meme photo, okay, maybe you just laugh. But when us look at it, it'll be like, okay, how can we use this? How AI can help us improve our industry or our business. So I want to bring out one point is the world is sprinting. The image generation art was like introduced like a year ago. And what are you doing with AI technology inside your business? That is one of my message I want to tell you, ask you. One very important thing is even places in like Bulan Gai, those massage places are using AI for the image. Even they are using AI. How about your business? If you are still not using AI, you probably need to rethink about your business. So a little bit more about generative art. These are some examples that our company, or it just takes a few seconds to generate one. And these are some other examples. And for left and right ones, back then without AI, it cost probably like 20K to outsource a photo, outsource to an artist to finish it. But right now it takes like 5 seconds or 10 seconds to do it. So it actually reduced our cost by like 99%. And there's something called LoRa. If you played around standard diffusion, you will understand what LoRa is. It's just a model. So for the left side, yeah. So you inject some random prompts, and then you add a Chun-Li LoRa, and it will become a Chun-Li style. And if you want it to be a figure type of image, and you just input a figurine LoRa, and it takes like just a few seconds to generate. And there's something called control net. So you can actually draw out a skeleton with just your mouse, and they can generate all these kind of poses, whatever pose you want, and you can generate right away. So there's a lot of real use example inside my company. Like for all these portraits on the left side, we used to need like around 10K Hong Kong dollars to outsource to artists, and it takes like at least 4 to 5 days to finish it. Right now, it takes like just 5 seconds, and then it'll be like a complete image. And there's also icons and UIs that we also can use, like monsters, icons, etc. So another thing is like ChatGPT. A lot of people talk about ChatGPT and stuff. Like we use it for translations, real-time responses, generating the world settings. We used to have to like hire translators to translate into different language, and hire writers for like writing the story background for all the games. But right now, you just need to have one prompt in the ChatGPT, and it'll be done. So the boring stuff is like, it improved a lot of the productivity in my company, and we are making a lot more games in parallel right now, and reduce costs, and we are looking for a lot of AI-driven stuff. Like these are the boring stuff everyone understands. And as a startup, we actually have to look at different new AI tools daily, because every tool that can save like 1 hour, man-hour, it means a lot for like small companies. And I'll suggest everyone try to learn more about AI, not just ChatGPT, but anything about AI. So in the end, like what's next? In the first panel, it's very funny that the moderator asked, okay, how about a virtual girlfriend? Actually, I've already started making virtual girlfriend, and you can chat with her, and they have like very realistic photos. I use Facebook for the photos, and it's already out. Because Evans from Animal Cassette of 6 months, it's actually out already. So everything changed, like everything is moving very fast. That's what I want to tell you, like, is back to my message is the world is sprinting, and you have to think about again what you are doing right now. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Philip, for very interesting presentations. And let's pass the stage to TY.
Okay, thank you, Tony. Yeah, my name is TY. I'm a director with NCS Hong Kong. So you've heard from my fellow panelists about how disruptive innovation impact their respective industries. Today I'm going to talk about from a technology services provider perspective. So I think many of you may not have heard of NCS. We are actually a Singapore headquarter company that has been pivotal in the smart nation transformation of Singapore for the last 40 years. We were established in 1981 as the National Computer Board, a bit similar like the audio of Hong Kong government. And then we were privatized in 1996, and then we set up office here in Hong Kong in 1999. So today we are leading the next wave of innovation. Gartner actually ranked us as the #1 technology services provider in Singapore and Southeast Asia. We are now a 2.4 billion Singapore dollar company with more than 12,000 employees across Singapore, Australia, China, Hong Kong, and India. And at any one point, we have 4,000 active projects that we help our client implement. Right, so a big part of the next chapter of our growth and transformation comes from NCS Next. It is a global organization with more than 2,000 specialists specializing in digital experience, data and AI, cloud, and platform solutions. In early 2023, we actually identified 4 tech bets that we believe will have a transformative impact to businesses and communities. These are generative AI, metaverse, digital trust, and sustainability. And as it turns out, generative AI has a breakout year last year, and truly establishing itself as a game changer in the technology landscape. So we brought these tech bets to life in Tesseract, an immersive space where we inspire innovations together with our clients. Here we showcase tech bets and how they can be applied to enterprises and help them unlock the enterprise potentials. So a case in point, last year, Company X, so I can't name the company, but they are a large enterprise that serves millions of Hong Kong residents. So they have annual study missions to different countries, bring along their senior leaderships to learn the best practices of industries and technology. So being a trusted innovation partner of theirs, we invited them to visit NCS Tesseract last year. And then generative AI was one of the topics that they were really interested in how it can help disrupt their business operations. So one of the pain points they brought to us is that so their marketing department, their Marcom department usually have to comb through about 30,000 news articles every week so that they can summarize this news into categories and make reports to their senior management on news that is relevant to their industries or to their companies. So as you can imagine, this is a very laborious and manual task. They have a team of 3 full-time persons sitting there just reading through articles across 12 new websites, 30,000 every week, filtering through a lot of irrelevant news. And sometimes these articles are very ambiguous and it's very hard to classify them into the right category. And because the manual nature of it, they also can't react to real-time news. As a result, they can't give the real-time report to their senior management. So they thought, generative AI could be a potential solutions to their problem. In the past, they have tried different means, social listening, SAS, RPA, data science, but none of these solution really works well. So they thought, so in that session, we actually brainstormed together with them and see whether generative AI could be a good solution since, generative AI is very good at natural language processing. So that leads to a proof of concept whereby they selected 3 news sites that they monitored. We combed through about 6,000 articles using clever engineering and prompting to overcome the anti-web scraping problems, and then prompting to then filter out the news. That leads to an accuracy of about 94% in terms of filtering through the news and classifying them into the proper categories. And then these are just some of the web interfaces that we help them visualize the filtered news, and they can use it to filter the different news sources, the categories, and the companies that they're interested in. I think LLM excels in categorizing. So this is one example whereby the government make an announcement, the Labor and Welfare Bureau saying that they're not going to give housing subsidy to attract talent. So government announcement is a category that some tools will just naturally categorize this, but LM excels in truly understanding the intent of the news and correctly classify it as an economy category rather than a government announcement. So I think this is just a small example of how we help companies using emerging technologies to disrupt their operation. For this example, it actually reduces the effort to source the news by 90%, speed up the response time and all that. And yeah, so I think there are many examples that we can talk about. Thank you.
Thank you, TY. All right, let's get into the Q&A session. You mind if I start with Paul first? Well, actually, logistic company, a very traditional industry indeed. And it's amazing what you have done with it. Just wondering, what triggers you? What triggers you to have such a breakthrough and kind of revolutionize the industry itself, a very traditional one instead? And also, during this revolutionizing change, during this disruptive transformation, what do you think are the challenges and what technology or technologies play their role in the whole thing?
I think just like any startup, if you ask our founder, he will tell you the story how he couldn't get a van. Then he found his own company to disrupt it. But that's always the story for the media. But the real story is we saw the productivity potentially can be improved in the industry. And we saw the technology is coming. We meshed them together. So by being disruptive, by definition, you need to break the old habit. The old habit was, a driver wants to pay one subscription on a monthly basis and then get jobs. And then users want to see the same driver every day. But once you give them the value, when drivers can see a lot more orders, when users can reduce their cost, then they start to believe in it. And the number speaks the truth, and you can see the growth path that we have taken. That's the easy part. And technology helps to get things done faster, better. But the difficult part, or the real strategy, is can you scale it up? Can you replicate it everywhere? Because if you don't do it, someone else will do it. If you can do it in a short period of time, if your business model is viable, you can replicate it in different markets in a short period of time, then you have a much higher chance to success. And when you can do that, the next natural question is, can you recruit sufficient talent to help you to replicate the model? Can help you to manage the same business across the world? And that's exactly what we have done.
Thank you, Paul. But for the challenges, though, there are so many moving parts when trying to break the industry or revolutionize the industry. So what is the most challenging variables during this process? Was the driver portion or the consumer portion?
I would say that continuous improvement of our business models. Because the model is not that difficult. Everyone can copy it. Technologies is always available. But how can you do it better than the others? How can you continue to we look at our figures on a daily basis, on an hourly basis. We always look at, are we adding additional value to our users and drivers? Are the drivers getting more orders, improving their income? Are the users getting their desired vehicle faster and then reducing their logistic cost. If you can keep doing it and doing it better on a daily basis, then even though if someone has come out with huge amount of capital trying to copy you, they are not going to get into your space.
Thank you, Paul. Hi, Rex. Well, actually, I grew up in Hong Kong, so TVB has pretty much with me for all this time. And always perceived TV, your company is a traditional media company, which you have corrected me, is an advertising company now. Is this a process of change? And at the same time, like, given what you have shown us today, which is really amazing, using all these kind of technologies, what is the most challenging portion? Is it convincing the management, or is it actually convincing the audience? Which one is more challenging? And the process change?
I think the most challenging part is to convincing our staff instead. Our management is easier to convince because we all know that AI is coming, the big revolutions is coming. But how can we change our staff in order to help them or persuade them to adopt this kind of change is really challenging for us. I mean, our staff, most of them or some of them are working in our company like 30 years, even 40 years. So they already adopted old behavior, old operation flow, something like that. And in these days, as AI changed a lot, to bring up the technology really fast. So how to adopt this kind of technology, how to adopt it well, and that means to change their old or traditional workflow. That is a really challenging part for our company.
Thanks. Let me spin the angle a little bit here. How about from the audience side, as an end consumer sitting in front of the TV? How about those audience, your target customers? How do they respond to this new look or this new change?
Actually, as the last slide I showed that we create videos that is promoting our MyTV Super services. Actually, I think the audience even doesn't notify that it's created by AI. I mean, all the scene actually is in the background is created by AI. The model actually do the face swapping. You even not notify what is the difference between the traditional way to shooting the scene and using the AI. So I think the audience is much easier to adopt this kind of changes. And you know, when you're shooting a film or shooting a videos, when you shoot it very well, I mean, you need a lot of lighting, you need a lot of makeup, and using AI, you don't even, you need this kind of setup. You just need the model to shooting in the studio, and then they put all the backgrounds and behind. So I think the audience is just see, that is quite a good videos, and I don't think they really notify about that. Yeah.
So basically, they can't tell the differences.
Cannot tell the differences, you are right.
Thank you, Rex. Hey, Philip, actually in the gaming industry, this is a relatively new one. And it's interesting that you have presented the information, and one of the slides I think is very powerful, where you are in the whole thing, which is very powerful. Like, you know, are you going to keep up and things like that? So do you consider your industry is a more creative one or technology-oriented one? And just wondering, like, you know, when you think about disruptive innovation, I know you mentioned a little bit about the slide. Can you elaborate a little bit about, like, which area do you focus more on, creativities or technology?
Okay, so game used to be a more creative industry because right now it's still in the creative industry under governments. But right now we actually have to put more technology into the game because back then, maybe you'll have a unique game or unique game design that will be enough to like convince people because there's not that much competition. But right now, like there's all kinds of game engines making people that they can actually produce a game quite easily. So there's a lot of competition. So we have to push our technology into quite extreme because we are always battling like the download time, the download size. If a user takes 20 seconds to download the app compared to 10 seconds, the conversion rate would be much higher. And we have to do all kinds of compression on image, videos, voiceovers, background music, all kinds of stuff has to be very polished or very compressed or into a very extreme to actually have a high conversion rate. That is where we are moving right now into a very high technology side. For a creative side, like as I said, like all the world settings, game characters, all of those kind of stuff can be created by AI. And like we have a term called reskin in our industry, which is like changing the art theme or art characters with the same core game designs. It's actually very easy for us to actually dupe or clone games right now. So it's not a creative industry anymore. Of course, there's some unique case where a very unique game design can be very viral, but right now, like we all see those games are copying each other, cloning. Like it takes around 4 to 5 months to clone a game right now. So it's more a technology-based competition right now. So for disruptive technology, it actually is quite interesting because 1 or 2 years ago, like people start talking about or banning the privacy or tracking, as Rex said, the death of cookies. It's the same on iPhones. So it's very difficult for us to put ads or track the players anymore. So there was a very bad period of gaming industry. But after the AI generative art comes out, we actually reduce the marketing cost by a lot. Like the marketing materials, we can just pump it out. We can pump like 100 ads per day. That is how we cope with the block of tracking. We just spam marketing, different kinds of marketing. That's why you see lots of fake ads, random ads on games. That's why that's how the AI actually disrupt the industry again. Yeah.
Thank you, Philip. Hi, TY. Actually, you are from the supporting side, right? You have heard, I'm sure you have seen a lot of transformation going on for different kind of company. And like from your experience, what kind of suggestions or comments will be providing to companies that kind of planning to do this kind of, or all kinds of digitization changes? Any comments, things that they should be looking out for, suggestions about what they should be avoiding, things like that?
Well, I guess when it comes to emerging technologies, a lot of trial and error. So typically our advice to our customer is that, don't be afraid to try and fail because it's about trying out new things, see whether this kind of technology actually has a business value or not. That's why, through our Tesseract and also, some of our engagement with customers, we do a lot of trial and error and then try out whether test of proof of value, proof of concept, and whether the technology applies to them or not. I think another part about trying technology, I think to echo some of the panelists, is all around change management because technology is just a means to get there, but ultimately, there's always a human factor in it, and typically humans are very resistant to change. So I think the whole change management part needs to be managed quite well to explain the benefits and how it can actually benefit the individuals of the user of the technology.
Thank you, TY. To wrap up this session, actually, I would like to go around to my speakers. If you can share your experience in 1 or 2 sentences as a take-home value for our audience today. Something key from your experience in this journey?
Think big, think global, scale it up, making sure your business model is there.
Powerful. Thank you. How about Rex?
Adopting AI as much as possible and as fast as possible.
And Philip?
So for me, it's business opportunity is everywhere. Like I have a startup company, and it's easy to adopt because AI is like right in front of us, and as long as you catch hold of it, and you can have a good business. Yeah.
Thank you. And TY?
Yeah, so I think just one of the tech bets we say is the generative AI that was in 2023. This year, NCS, we believe that trend is going to evolve into we call everything AI, which means the notion of AI will be the driving force behind all businesses, solutions, and applications. That also includes how we serve our customers, from AI-enabled call center to AI programming to even AI-generated tender proposal.
Okay. Thank you all. And can we have a round of applause for our speakers, please?
Thank you.
And this concludes our session. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, our speakers. Let's have a good photo together. Thank you very much, our speakers, for giving us more insight how we could unlock their enterprise potentials using the technology, emerging technologies, artificial intelligence, and blockchain, IoT, and big data. All right, please kindly look into our photographer in the centers for a good photos. All right. Please continue to stay and then can I have the speakers? Let's give a thumbs up to support our event. All right, thank you very much. A big round of applause for our speakers and moderators. Please kindly exit the stage. Thank you.